So it's the 26th of March, around about 10:30 in the morning UK time. I'm still in the Highlands of Scotland, returning to London tomorrow, and this is the third video I'm doing today. It's a video on the Jupiter-Neptune conjunction that's coming up in the second week of April, and this is the positive side of it, because it's always a positive. People are too keen to look at the negative, and the positive also needs a degree of emphasis. As I said in previous videos, the Jupiter-Neptune conjunction is affecting primarily those people born between the 14th to the 17th. It's primarily the 15th, 16th, but a day each side of those people in March, June, September and December. But it is going to be affecting everybody in various different ways. I've been in Scotland for 8 days. I'm returning to England and London tomorrow. One thing that's really endeared me to Scotland is the very large number of Ukrainian flags that there are flying in Scotland, far more pro rata than there are in England. When you consider England's got 55 million people and Scotland's got 6 million. And yet everywhere you look in Scotland there's Ukrainian flags flying, and there seems to be a great deal of, willingness to engage with the Scots people, with Ukraine, that's not evident amongst the political elite in Britain, in England, I'm sorry. And I think the Scots identify with Ukrainian people in a way that the English don't, or at least the English leadership don't. Thing about Jupiter-Neptune, it's going to create floods, and in previous videos I've looked at floods in terms of water. I've talked in the past about floods of refugees with Neptune in Pisces. There's a fundamental difference in the current situation. In the past, refugee crises over the last 10 to 20 years have come through authoritarian leaders bulldozing their own countries and pushing most of their people out because they don't want them. And these people have brought their culture and their religion to wherever they've settled and created a bit of a dichotomy wherever they've been. The difference here is that the flood of Ukrainian refugees that's hitting Europe at the moment, and will shortly hit the USA as well as other countries in the world, is people who 3 weeks ago were having a good style of life. They weren't feeling persecuted. They were able to go to the supermarkets or go down the pub for a drink, and it was a very similar lifestyle to someone like you or me if you're living in Europe. So all of a sudden they're finding themselves only with what they can carry, but they're being welcomed in many different countries of Europe. This flood of refugees will continue until the crisis in Ukraine is over, which will be over one way or another sooner rather than later. I think it will be over within a week. I'm playing my cards to my chest and saying 3 weeks. Let's get to the end of the Jupiter-Neptune conjunction. But we're going to see an increase in the integration and assimilation of people of different nations and different cultures with each other in a way that long term can only be beneficial. A blending of culture will create such an upgrade, if you like, of influences. That's got to be a good thing. One of the positive sides of Jupiter conjunct Neptune in Pisces is that it's going to really enhance, upgrade and increase both our individual and our collective capacity for things like empathy and compassion and kindness. The willingness to help strangers, to let strangers into our homes. It's also, almost as a side effect, bringing a much greater awareness, both again individually and collectively, of the ideas and notions of spirituality. One of the things that Neptune in Pisces is doing is it's finally dissolving all of our old, tired and worn out attitudes towards theology, dogma and religion. We no longer need priests to act as our conduit to God or to the divine. We all have our own relationship with the divine now. And I suggest that one of these things is that it's making us realise how much religion is just like any other form of politics. It's a tool in the hands of whoever is in power at any given time. Primarily, to quote myself from many different videos, run by a bunch of old impotent men in skirts who have got a fear and a terror of both the natural order of things and of the divine feminine. Jupiter conjunct Neptune in Pisces is really waking us all up collectively and individually into our understanding of the divine feminine within us all. And about bloody time. It's also because of Pisces' connection with the unconscious, because of Neptune's capacity for spirituality, and because of Jupiter's capacity for growth and expansion. It's really helping us build bridges between the conscious and the unconscious. It's helping us become our own psychological therapists, our own psychoanalysts. And again, this is a good thing. This is a really good thing. This is where astrology, of course, is at its strongest, helping people make informed decisions for themselves by releasing them from the doctrinations of the past. Jupiter conjunct Neptune in Pisces is also really stimulating individuals' ideas around the imagination, the creative imagination. In many ways, Jupiter conjunct Neptune is opening us to a whole new realm of spirituality, imagination and creativity, and it's helping us bring words like integration and assimilation and holism as much more, instead of just paying lip service to these words, they're becoming a much more effective and active tool in our individual lives. We're seeing this in the ways that we choose to help others, in the way that we look after our own bodies, in the way that we have our own relationship with spirit. Seems to me this Jupiter-Neptune conjunction overall it's a positive thing. It is. Yes, there's a lot of things going on in the world that are over the top and out of proportion, but not for much longer. And it is going to leave a lasting legacy of, why do I need other people to tell me what to believe? Why can't I make up my own beliefs for myself that work for me, but do not go to extremes? Why can't I let myself become a lot more integrated, assimilated, holistic, and personally complete? Nice goals. Catch you later, world. Bye.